Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. I did all the settings, but I wanted to bring you this first look at the technical slides for the S7-1200 Generation 2. So I'm just pausing here a little bit to make sure all the different, I know some of the different streaming services we use, they come in at different moments. So, but in any case, we've been so busy getting our brand new Arduino course up and running and out the door and just celebrating our 200th episode of the Automation Podcast that I didn't get to do anything on this, but as soon as I freed up today, I wanted to come on and talk to you about this. What am I talking about? Well, Siemens recently announced their Generation 2. Let me see if I can get rid of the headshot. You guys don't need to see me. Their Generation 2 of their S7-1200. Now, if you've watched the show before, you probably know that I'm a fan of the S7-1200. You can download a 21-day trial of the software for free. You don't have to call anybody. You just go right to Siemens website and you grab it. We've covered that before on the site. And the other thing you can do is you can really, get these things really inexpensively and learn PLCs on your own. And that's why I think it's been a great option when I did my S7-1200 course. It's been a great option that to have to learn on. So I really just very positive, and I'm adding myself back because I can't. I'm like, am I really live? Is everything working? So in any case, let's take a look at these slides again. This is our first look at the just released, brand new within the last few days, Cymatic S7-1200 G2 technical slides. And let's go ahead and take a look at them here. And so first off, we'll start with this first slide. So we saw what it looked like on the very first slide. Now this first one that has some information on it. Now, again, I am seeing these for the first time right now. So, but you can tell I'm excited every time somebody releases a new PLC. We were talking about Mabel Systems a couple weeks ago, and I even talked to their folks. But it's just cool. It's like if you're a fan of cars, you get excited every time a new sports car comes out, right? If you're a sports car fan. So in any case, this is their next generation. We've been talking kind of like off the record with the Siemens folks about this, but they really couldn't give us any details. So you can see all the standard things they're trying to do here: productivity, flexibility, cost optimization, and things like that. So very interesting there, because you think any new PLC would be like that. Now, I think this is interesting. Okay, so you can see it's a lot smaller, right? Still DIN rail mount, but you can see how it's wired, right? So we have the top and bottom wiring that's standard on all the S7-1200s, but look at where the Profinet port or Ethernet ports are located. They're on the top instead of the bottom. I think that's very interesting. So it looks like we got power coming in on the bottom and the networks are on the top. And I got to tell you that if there's one thing about the S7-1200 that had me a little concerned, haven't had any problems with it yet, but one thing that had me a little concerned about it is sometimes the network cables wiggle. The port actually wiggles a little bit. I'm always like, oh, am I going to rip this port off? Because you know what? I'm a son of a mechanic, and I am not the gentlest guy out there when it comes to technology. I try to be, but in any case, so I think this is really cool because it's going to come in standard edition and a fail-safe edition too. We'll see images of that soon, and it's supposed to be able to do more flexible, do a wider range of applications. And you know what? One of the things, if I had to say, there's one thing with Gen 1 S7-1200s that I didn't like as I learned as I was teaching the course, is it doesn't have all of the great data types that you'll find in the S7-1500. I mean, the S7-1500 has more data types than any other PLC I used. And, these are all the, 61131-3 data types. There's nothing special about them. But, it's not until recently that companies like Rockwell had added, 64-bit data types and so on. So I think you're going to get into the upper 30s or the mid 30s to start getting those expanded data types. But in any case, the 1200 was kind of limited there. And I always thought that would be a great place for them to expand. So I'll be interested to see if they cover any of that here. But in any case, and what I'll do is after the show, I will find this link that I'm sharing with you, and I will put it in the show notes. I didn't have it at the moment of going live, just trying to get this up and running. And I'm in Studio B. So Studio B is still kind of a work in progress. If you saw the Automation Podcast this week, episode 200, you know exactly what it looks like. So we can see here, we have NFC functionality built in. I guess you'll see there's like a little Wi-Fi symbol or communication symbol on there. So that'll be interesting to see what they're going to be doing with that. It says improved processing power, dedicated communication performance. So that has me wondering, is it a dual core chip? There's like, the new version said, we talked about this morning on the morning show. They came out with the new 1511 and 1515 technology CPUs and technology fail-safe CPUs too, if you need the safety. And they're version 3 compatible, which means they have that dedicated communication chip in there, which is really cool. So also, this has integrated motion. So I'm wondering if they'll tell us. It says allows you to control a single axis or axes, and you can do coordinated axes and simple kinematics. So very interesting. I think that's a big upgrade. You guys tell me, but I think that's a big upgrade from what we already have. Now let's go to the next slide here. This is the first time I've actually used Stream Deck to present slides natively. For some reason, it wasn't going full screen when I was sharing Acrobat, and I'm like, I don't have time to figure that out. So in any case, look at how small this is. It's so much smaller than the other units that we have today. And I just think that's so cool. Even the new modules, the signal modules, right? The add-on I/O, these are a lot thinner too. So congratulations. I guess after 10 years, you can put a lot of effort into making them smaller and more compact. But this is it looks like half the size. I mean, I guess that depends. I saw somewhere where it said 25 or 40%. And we'll look at that. We'll look at that. So great for standalone or interconnected machines. Let's see here. What else? Anything new here, guys? Give me some. It does come available with fail-safe versions. Let's see what else here. 2 communication ports. Okay, so that's one thing. I believe if you get the really, really, really small S7-1200s today, they only have 1 port, and that's like for the smallest of the small. They only have a few I/O too. It's not, maybe 10 I/O, so not very big. But in any case, let's go to the next slide. Not a lot on this slide. Okay, so here we can see the new design. All right, they're seeing approximately 25% space reduction. Yeah, I guess. I mean, some of the smaller 1200 Gen 1s are pretty small. You can get the fail-safe model. You see it right there. And memory expansion. So we'll have to look for more details on that. Here you can see the fail-safe, bright yellow, so you know it's a safety PLC. And there's an improved I/O, fail-safe I/O portfolio. That's pretty cool. And integrated in SEP7 Basic. Well, that's very interesting. That's great. Good that that's there. I think my son was walking around. He's trying to get me my attention, but I'm like, I'm live streaming. In any case, enhanced Profinet capabilities. You can now do 31 devices with IRT. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think the old S7-1200 could do any IRT. I think that was one of the big differentiators, if I'm remembering the slides from my course. Hey, speaking of which, if you're interested in if you're interested in learning about the S7, I'm going to give you a special offer on my course. This was a course I worked closely with Siemens with. We got like over 10 hours of Siemens interviews at the end of the course that are optional. You don't have to watch them, but if the fact that I get to interview these people, I want to include it in the courses so you guys have access to that stuff ad-free. You don't have to go searching for it. And it's just a great way as we do. And I know I haven't added the V19 yet to it. But if you're looking for an S7 course, I got a special coupon, S7G2, takes $50 off the course. And here's I want to make a commitment to you right now. If we get 25 people to buy that coupon, now that coupon's only good for the weekend. It's a huge $50 off the course is a huge discount. It really cuts into my own profits, but I still have enough in there. I did the numbers. If we get 25 people to pick up that course this weekend using that coupon, I'm going to commit to buying one of these. Now, it'll probably be this one here, not the fail-safe. I'd love to learn fail-safe. I just haven't had time to play with it. But in any case, I will pick up one of these and I will add lessons to the course for free. Now, these ain't shipping yet. I don't think they're shipping. But when they are, if we get 25 people to pick up that course, my S7 course over at the Automation School, I will promise I will put the money aside. I will put the order in to pick up one of these so we can add lessons on this new Generation 2 to the course. So I'll have more about that in a minute. And I did put that coupon right before we went live. I put that coupon code and a link in the description. Now here we get into the enhanced connectivity, right? And we're talking about 31 devices with IRT. We already talked about that. 8 high-speed counters. That's great. I don't think the old ones had that many high-speed counters. We do have on the channel, we do have videos on using. Matter of fact, IFM sent us in some encoders with nice displays in the back, and we used those to go right into both a S7-1200. I believe we did the 1500 as well, go into the high-speed counters. They're a little different how they operate, but 8 built-in high-speed counters. That's very cool. And then this near-field communication and app. So very interested in knowing what that all does. I wonder if there's like a S7-1200 G2 app. That's what it looks like. that you could access your controller with, because that's the thing, right? So the CPUs for the S7-1500, they have this awesome screen, right? This display on it. And I know a lot of people thinking, well, it's probably just like a HIM on a drive where you can just change parameters. No, it's kind of like if you remember the 1100 or 1400 from Rockwell, it's like that, but on steroids and in color. And so we don't have that on the 1200, right? This is really designed for OEMs and small applications. So it'd be really cool if we could have that functionality on an app, a free app, and use wireless to get to it, right? NFC. Now, I don't think that would work outside the enclosure, but we'll have to find out. We'll have to ask Siemens about that. In any case, integrated motion control, very cool, very cool. All right, so let's go to the next slide here. Again, this is the first time I'm seeing the slide deck. So here they're showing the 1212C. Okay, look how thin that is. And here's the 1214C, much smaller than the old units. Kind of reminds me of the old FX5 we looked at several years ago. And then look at this 8 to 16 channel signal module. That's what Siemens calls their IO modules. And then you get safety and non-safety. 33% smaller, or 33%, I should say, 33% less DIN rail space. So very cool there. Oh, all right. So good. They are saying it's 27 to 38. I was thinking it was more like 40% smaller. So it depends on which ones you get. In any case. So I think we've covered all this. I think we covered all that. Let's look at this chart here. So the 1212, the 12, well, in the fail-safe, these both can have 6 in total. There are 3. What is this? 6 in total what? EM. Expansion modules? Okay, 6 is really good for expansion modules. And let's see, programming and data memory. I don't have they're not comparing it to the old one. So they said it had more memory, but they're not showing us here what the difference was. And then you can see the 14, 10 expansion modules. That is a lot of expansion modules. We have, it's in the other room. We have one of those 14s with a bunch of modules on it. We have 3. You can have, on the old ones, you could have 3 communications, and then I don't know if you could have up to 10. I'd have to check. But again, I just wanted to do this live stream right away to make you guys aware of this. If you got any big projects coming up, in a few months, something you may want to look at. And I do believe somewhere here it's going to say it needs version 20. We're on 19 right now, and you need version 20. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The 1212 and the 1214. We can see integrated digital I/O, digital in 6, digital out 8, and then we have. I like how they're doing DO instead of DQ. I know the standard's DQ, but for the American audience, DO is probably better. And then the 14 has built in 14 in and 10 out. And I kind of wonder about the 6 and 8. Is that real? Because usually you want more inputs than outputs, right? If you've been doing this for any amount of time, you don't have to have been doing it for like 34 plus years like me, and you don't have to be bald either. But usually everybody knows you want to have more inputs than outputs. So that's interesting. Very interesting there. The Profibus, and Modbus TCP support. That's new. Very cool. Now, I do show on the 1500 how you can use an add-on block from their site to talk to Rockwell and pull tags. You don't need any gateway or anything like that. You can do it directly from the S7-1500. Haven't tried it on the 1200 yet, but the fact that those 2 ports have built-in support for Profinet and Modbus TCP, that's very cool. Okay, communication modules, 3 max. I'm glad they kept it like that. And now here's a question that pops up. Are they the same communication modules as the Gen 1? Interesting. I would imagine, and that's a question on the IO modules. Can you mix and match? So I'd love to know that. Look, let me know if you see that in the slides anywhere. Okay, so we got communication modules, and let's see here, total signal modules and communication modules, 6 and 10. So I wonder if that comes out of this. If you have 3 communication modules, does that reduce your signal modules? Because I don't think it did in the Gen 1. Total signal boards 1 and 2. Okay, so the signal boards, look how small they are. Oh, it looks like it rises off the unit, so you get a terminal block on the top. I'm like, how are you going to fit a terminal block in that little space? But it looks like it's a riser. Interesting, very interesting. Integrated motion, NFC, memory card option. I'm glad they kept that, because you know what? If you're mass producing products, if you're an OEM, you don't want to have to buy memory cards for every unit, right? With bigger PLCs, that's kind of a given. And some vendors do give it away. And then we have DC-DC-DC, DC-DC relay, and an AC line in DC relay. Okay. Excellent. Now, and this is standard only. So I'm wondering if the relay can't do any high speed or any PWM or anything. Not that you'd want to do that with, but I'm wondering. I think you can with the DC models, but you could use up your relay pretty quick if you went too fast on that. All right, so here's the signal boards. These mount directly to the front of the unit. You guys may be familiar with these. Instead of modules, they're called boards. They plug onto the unit itself. And it looks like we have a 8 digital in, 8 digital out. There's the Q we know and love. 4 in, 4 out. That's cool. And looks like 5 volt. Interesting, interesting. I don't know. A lot of people are using 5 volt TTL. There must be some applications that require it. And then analog signal boards, 4 in, 4 out, 2 in, 2 out. I think this very popular. I can see that being very popular in these, the thermocouples and RTDs, because you know what? How many times did you need like mostly discrete, but you wanted to add a couple analog? Very cool. So you just plug it to the front of the unit. Now over here, we have more of these. So these were all the boards that plug into the face of the unit. Either you get 1 or 2, depending on the models, like we just saw. Now the signal modules, these are the IO cards that go on the right-hand side. Looks like we got 16 in. Yep, 16 out, 16 out relay. 8 in, 8 out, 8 in, 8 out relay, and then analogs, 8 out, analog in. That's great. 8 in that small size. That's really cool. And then the 4 in, 4 out, the 8 out, and then 8 thermocouple and 4 RTD. Excellent. Well, they all seem like some good modules so far. And then we have the fail-safe. I'll leave this up there for a moment. Just based on my history, I haven't done a lot with fail-safe or safety. We are adding it to our courses, so I'm going to have to come up to speed to it. But in any case, I don't have any of the Siemens fail-safe. I don't think I do. I don't have anything yellow, anyways, that I know of that still works. So in any case, looks like you can do 1 out of 1, and you can do 1 out of 2. Okay, so hopefully you guys have seen that. You can pause the video if you didn't. And then let's take a look at what we got here. Memory card access. Okay, it looks like it's in the top. Looks like it's right there. I wish I could zoom in. I can't zoom in on it, guys. Sorry. There's your 2 Profinet ports. That's the I/O. Okay. High density terminal blocks. All right, so we kind of covered all that. Okay, next slide. Keep trying to use the mouse wheel to scroll, but it doesn't do it in this. Okay, so this is some more design. I think we covered that. Let me keep going. I apologize, I can't see the chat. So if you're chatting at me, I'll get you at the end of the show. Capacity. 4, 12, 24, 256, 2 gig, 32 gig. That's a lot of memory for this kind of control. So what can you be saved on there? Of course, as we cover in my course, you can make that and not use the internal, but use that for the program and data. System data recipes is probably a very popular one. Files, projects, and so on. And then they increased the lifespan to 500,000 write access possible. Interesting. Project send as an email with transfer to memory card. That's cool. No special card reader required, and that's the same right now. I mean, I've shown in my course, you can just put the SD cards in your computer. Let's see here. No data loss despite openness with CPU shutdown. That's good. Increased card protection. Okay, you can link the programs to the serial cards. That can be important in mission critical applications. Let's see. Here's some technology objects that are supported in this guy. Speed access, position access, synchronous access, external encoder, output cam, cam track, measuring input, cam, kinematics. Okay. And then here, this is what we were looking at earlier. Let's see what this is all about. Gather information without having to power the device. Wow, that's cool. Read, write application and diagnostic data based on configuration. So is the CPU powered? No. Is the CPU configured? No. Okay. And then yes, if it's enabled, you can find a device type, hardware, serial number, firmware. That's cool. A lot of good stuff you can do there, even with the unit off. Okay, this kind of looked like the same tree as that one. So I'm missing something there. How to migrate technically. Okay. So here's all the Gen 1s, and here's the Gen 2s. Oh, look, a lot more memory. Yep, now we can see them side by side. A lot more memory. Faster too. Look at the bit performance here, 85 nanoseconds. Now it's up to 40 nanoseconds. 6.4, 8. Yes, I knew that was a typo. 8.6, 8.6 for the I/O. In, 8, out, 6. Okay. Integrated analog. Now there's no more integrated analog. Now it's an optional signal board. I don't think that's a big problem. High-speed counters. Yes, it was only 6, and now it's 8. Okay, and then the width, it went from 90 millimeters to 70. Excellent. What else we got here? All right, here's some more models. 14, 1214, 1214, 1215, 1217. Okay, so smaller, a lot. Look at the bit performance is twice as fast. 85 on the old, 40 on the new. That's nanoseconds. Digital in, digital out, 1410. And these are 1410, same there. No integrated analog in and out. More high-speed counters. And the width is down from 110 or 150, 110, 130, 150, all the way down to 80 for all of them, for all the way, the 1414. And why would you buy the bigger guys? Because more expansion. Are they going to show that next slide? No. Did I miss it? Nope. Okay, that would have been nice to have another slide there where they showed us the expansion IO comparison, right? So maybe I missed it. I'm doing this live, seeing this for the first time. So TIA Portal version 20. We recently had John on to tell us about version 19, and he mentioned 20 was on the way. So let's see what we got here. No more separate safety license from... So Step 7 Safety Basic will be discontinued from V20 onwards. That's awesome. For those little guys, having to buy and manage that extra license, that can be, that can be a little heartburn. So getting rid of that and integrated it all into just the S7 Step 7 Basic is cool. Nice, nice. All right. You can still buy the licenses if you're staying on 18 or 19. I think that's what that's saying there. Okay, let's see what we got here now. All right, V20 is going to support the old stuff and the new stuff. I think that's what they're saying. As far as hardware, not as far as version, but hardware. So I think that's what they're saying. Okay, let's keep going. Is that the last slide? Okay, they announced it. That's why it's such a big deal this week, because they just global product announcement happened at the fair in Hanover. And let's see. UMAC logging. So let's see here. So they're saying end of 2024, we're going to get the product release in TIA Portal version 20, if I'm reading this correctly. So, and it's going to be in PLC Sim. That's great, because just having that free emulator or simulator built into S7, TIA Portal Basic, that Step 7 Basic is pretty awesome. And, that's one of the things we show in the course too, is because what if you don't have a PLC? We even do that for our Arduino course. We have links to all our projects online, and you don't even have to buy a piece of hardware to actually go through the labs. The failsafe is going to come out early 2025. I think that's what that's saying. And then the RTD and thermocouple boards and communication modules will come out later in 2025. And then late 2025, it looks like they're going to do some OPC UA, basic motion control from the first generation, high density modules, and so on. So you can kind of see the timeline there. These timelines, these could change over time. Engineers aren't perfect. They don't always get it right, but they try hard. And that's it. So let me get out of this mode here. Let me go out of full screen, and let me go back to, let's see if I can see the chat. So they're not showing me the chat. We get a chat here, and waving and saying hi, no questions. So That's it. That's our first look. Let me see here. Let me get back to full screen. There we go. Okay, now I'm not in the middle of the screen anymore. So that is our first look at the S7-1200 Generation 2 technical slides. I hope you guys enjoyed going through that with me. If you have any questions for Siemens, right, send them in to me. I'll ask them. I said, if you want to know more about the G2, let me know. Oh, and don't forget, in the description, I put $50 off my course. And I promise, I looked at the numbers again. I looked at the numbers, and I will purchase one of these new units when they come available. I will purchase one if we get 25 sales this weekend. So use that S7G2 code to pick up my S7 course. It's a buy once, own forever type of course. And so that's why if we get 25 sales, I will commit to you guys who are buying into the course that I will pick up a Generation 2 and add new lessons to it. I got a whole bunch of new lessons I'm planning to add, but I'm currently 100% working on my comfort panel, the unified basic comfort panel. Am I saying that right? Unified basic panel and unified comfort panel. There I go. And so I'm working on that course right now. That'll be ready June 1st. I may be working a lot on nights, but that's what I promised, and that's what I'm going to do. So in any case, my courses. I love to add stuff after the fact and keep updating them. I'm getting ready to do something on V36 for my Rockwell course. So just really appreciate you guys. And again, it's just buy one. You don't have to subscribe at $20 a month for the rest of your life. No, and I do, having been in this role for 34 years, having been working with industrial automation for 34 years, I know that you don't use things. You may use things now and then go a year or two without using it and need to get a refresher. And so that's why we do that. So with that, we got another chat coming in. Why is the chat so small? I can't see it. It's like micro text. Raj, thank you so much for those comments. He just put some nice comments in there. So with that, that's it. I'm not going to just keep on talking. I hope you guys are enjoying the new automation news roundup every morning that I'm doing. And we did put the automation morning show behind the membership. We're going to do that every day, but it takes about 3 hours every day to put that together. So we're doing for free the automation news roundup, and we're doing the automation morning show for membership. So if you got $10, or I guess it's like $2.50 a week, and you want to support us, we're going to keep doing that. But it's behind the membership wall now, just because we're a business and we have to start covering our expenses. So in any case, I want to wish you all an awesome weekend, and until next time, my friends, peace.